Well, it's another episode of We Don't Color on the Dog. It's been one of these busy days. Yesterday, Santa Rosa Island Authority met. They did their budget, looked at the fire, what to do about the fire station and fire, what kind of MSBU or how they were going to handle it. And we're fortunate enough, we've got Mike Burns from SRIA with us right now. Mike, what happened yesterday?
Hey, Rick, good to chat with you this afternoon. Well, we did pass the budget, which is really great. Vicki Johnson is our finance gal, and she does a really outstanding job with our budget. She went through it with all our board members. I want to say back on the 11th or 13th, like that, and then there was very little conversation because she explained it so well. So the budget gets passed. Now it'll go to the county commissioners for them to approve the Santa Rosa Island Authority slash SRIA budget. So I don't anticipate any problems with that. And then we had a discussion which we talked about Fire Station 13 out here on Pensacola
Mhm.
Beach, and trying to help the county with some issues that they were having on funding and shortfalls in their budget, and transfer money from the general budget or their general revenue budget to cover the fire costs. So what the Island Authority did is we decided to take our collection rate on our lease fees to 75%. It used to be, Rick, and this used to be at 100%. We had reduced that back in around 2015 to 50%. So we're going to take our collection rate to 75%. And what that'll do is that will cover the cost and operation of Fire Station 13 on Pensacola Beach, allow us to keep that at the same service levels that we have right now and staffing levels. And it'll also generate probably about another $1.1 million on top of the cost to operate the fire station, and with another 200,000 coming back from the county, that'll put us at about 1.3 that we'll be able to have in our general revenue funds, and all that money will stay on the island. It doesn't go over to the county, which I think a lot of our board members like that idea. It lets us be able to be in control of our own destiny, pay the bills, and then keep the revenue on the beach for maybe some other projects that we want to look at on the beach. And just for example, beach nourishment or any other project that we might want to do on the beach, and we'll allocate that money, so that money will stay in our budget and our coffers versus having to go over to the county. And so I think overall it's a win-win for the Island Authority as well as our residents, both commercial and residential, and also a win for the county as well, for the Island Authority stepping up and helping resolve a difficulty that they had on the other side of the water.
So, Mike, when you say up the collection, what does that mean? I,
So our collection rate, we reduced the rate from 100% to 50%. So we were
100% of what? Of 100%?
of the lease fees. So let's just
Oh,
say, for
okay.
example, let's say a lease fee was at $1,000 and you paid $1,000 a year. So we were collecting that. We gave all the residents and the commercial leaseholders and those that had vacant lots. So if it was $1,000 a month, they were only paying $500. So
Oh, okay.
now they'll go up to paying $750, and so we'll keep that money on the island. And in return, in the agreement, we'll enter into a interlocal agreement, an agreement between the Island Authority and Escambia County, and the MSBU, the fire rate as it applies to Pensacola Beach residents, commercial, and the vacant lot, that will go to zero. So that will go away. So that's the bonus. So 76% of the residential leaseholders, um, they won't have any cost out of pocket with this transition. And so then you're looking at 24. It'll impact 24% of the residential leaseholders, and it will go to the commercial leaseholders. But hopefully they'll be able to pass that on to the visitors to the island, and so it won't impact them as much as well. And we'll still be able to have and maintain the outstanding and excellent fire service and EMS service that we have on Pensacola Beach.
Well, it sounds like, Mike, that just lets SRIA kind of control its own destiny now. that
It
it's
does,
generating
Rick.
revenue to cover its bills.
It does, Rick. It does, Rick. And you know that, and that's one of the things that you know people on the beach a lot of times they you know they feel like um, we're the cash cow, or we're the golden goose, and the
Mhm.
money goes across the bridges, and but it doesn't come back. So this will allow us to collect the funds, and we'll be able to keep the funds on the island and pay for some of the services that the island needs to keep itself safe and protect our residents, our commercial businesses, and our visitors to Pensacola Beach.
Well, and it puts more authority under the board out there too, because
It
they
does.
have the money to work with.
It capitalizes the A in Island Authority.
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah, yeah,
it
it does.
does. So
Yeah.
it does. It definitely does. And you know, I have to give hats off to all our county commissioners on their excellent selections on our Island Authority members, and of course Jeremy Johnson, who's our elected Island Authority board member. We don't necessarily always agree on things, but we work together and we work to a solution. And that's one thing that's so um, good about our board. Very amicable, always very careful, deliberate, and thinking through the process. And so we may not have all agreed on this process, but we'll all acquiesce and come together with one another, and we'll be working forward to do what's best for the island, the residents, the commercial leaseholders, and our visitors, and the county as well, because we are a big part of the county. As you know, Rick, we
Right.
are the economic engine for Escambia County.
Without a doubt, and it needs to be protected. And I think what I like about it, Mike, and you and I, you've lived here longer than me, but I've been here forever too, and it's um, I like the idea of the board and the island authority really taking control of the beach and not depending on the general fund, or the other commissioners will still have their representatives on the board, and they'll still be a part of it. But this gives you the freedom. If there's a project that the board wants to do, they'll have the money to do it.
That they will, Rick, and that's an important thing, and I really think that's what our board members considered, even though they might not all agree with it. I think they consider that, and they welcome that ability to do that. And Rick, you know, because you and I have been through this when we had the oil spill back in 2010. That's one of the things that our board did, and they unanimously did that. They passed a resolution just the other day to help limit offshore drilling and above ground platforms in the Gulf of Mexico, or excuse me, the Gulf of America, along you know our beautiful beaches here. Because Rick, you know, because you were here when we had oil wash up on our beaches, and so our board is very conscious of that, and very protective of the valuable asset that we have, which is our beautiful beaches and the beautiful Gulf waters.
Well, it seems, Mike, like a huge win. For the homeowners out there, the lease owners out there, the residents, they're not going to see an impact on their taxes. The service level is not going to go down for fire, which we know is huge in emergency services out there. I and the county can take the rest of the county can deal with their issues outside the municipal area without having to worry about the beach.
I think you're absolutely correct, Rick, and that's one thing that I think is really important. We'll be able to take care of those people that come and visit the beach. You know, our day trippers, our weekly visitors, those that come seasonally and enjoy the beach, as long as as well as our commercial leaseholders and our residents. And that's the thing that we prioritize here on the beach. Safety is number one, and protecting the environment. And I really appreciate the way our board works together to do that. Because, like you said, and like I said, you know, we generate the revenue, but at the same time, we want to protect the beautiful environment that we have and keep it safe for everybody to enjoy.
Without a doubt. Mike, thank you so much for doing this and giving us the report. We'll catch up again. Maybe we'll do something right before Blues. Let you get do the big the selling point. That's going to be you've got a mad dash for the next couple of weeks.
We do, Rick, but we look forward to it. It's an exciting time. You know, we have 4th of July coming up. We also, you know, with the Ole Miss hat on, we got Buckley night coming up at Dance
Right.
on the Beach on July 1st. And then we finish out the week with our fireworks on Pensacola Beach, which will be great. And everybody come out and enjoy that. And then, of course, the July 11th and 12th, we got Blues on the Beach with the Blue Angel, the
Right.
U.S. Navy and Marine Corps flight demonstration team. And we're going to have a great show this year. I'm sure it's going to be better than last year. And last year was great. So we just look forward to everybody coming out and enjoying the Blue Angels on Pensacola Beach, July 11th and 12th.
All
And
right.
Rick, thank you so much for having me on.
Great. All right. We'll end this session. We'll do it again. Take care.
Ah,